Welcome to Daily Dose Radio, a 5-minute devotional podcast studying the Psalms verse by verse. Broadcast from the ever-beautiful Sharonville, Ohio, on the sunny side of Cincinnati. Hey there, friends. Welcome back to Daily Dose Radio, here in the Bible Bistro, where we're cooking it up hot and fresh. That's right, this is Craft Bible Study. You won't find that anywhere else on the interwebs. Craft Bible Study, 5 minutes a day, 5 days a week, studying the Psalms verse by verse. That's what we do with Daily Dose Radio. And of course, Daily Dose Radio is a part of the larger ministry of the Bible Bistro. I hope that you'll go to my-dailydose.com and check out the Bible Bistro website. Lots of goodies there. Let me just remind you that the Bible Bistro University is up and running. We are taking classes right now looking at Genesis chapters 1 through 11, the 3 dispensations of Genesis. So if you have a little time and you'd like to study along with us, it's a screencast, so it's not just audio. Well, we have a screencast element there as well. Check it out. Go to the YouTube page or go to the website, my-dailydose.com, and you'll find the links there. Today we're looking at verses 4 and 5 in Psalm 126. They that sow in tears shall reap in joy. He that goeth forth weeping, bearing precious seed, shall doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him. We have this idea of sowing and reaping right here, and of course we see the joy factor. The rejoicing is evident here. In verse 5, those that sow in tears reap in joy. Those that go forth weeping, bearing seed, come again rejoicing. I think the Hebrew word with that translation, rejoice, means to shout it. So they're not just rejoicing, but it is an exuberant rejoicing. It's a shouting type. They that sow in tears reap in joy. This idea of sowing and reaping is very important. There are 2 kinds of sowing in the Bible, but only one will bring this result. If you come over here into the New Testament in Galatians chapter 6, we have writer Paul giving us this in Galatians 6 verse 7, Be not deceived, God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. For he that soweth to his flesh shall of the flesh reap corruption. But he that soweth to the Spirit shall of the Spirit reap life everlasting. Let us not be weary in well-doing, for in due season we shall reap, if we faint not. As we have therefore opportunity, let us do good unto all men, especially unto them who are of the household of faith. What are you doing with your reaping and your sowing? Are you sowing to the flesh, or are you sowing to the Spirit? That's the question there, isn't it? And it's the question that we need to pose to ourselves, because we know that sowing in tears, reaping in joy is not sowing to the flesh, because that is a harvest of corruption, sowing to the flesh. But this is a sowing to the Spirit. So there's a joyful reaping that takes place because things have been sown. That is, given opportunity to do good has been done. Love of God has been expressed to others. Gifts have been sacrificially made. And so there is this overwhelming joy at the result, at the harvest time. He that goeth forth weeping and weepeth, bearing precious seed. So what's your precious seed? Are you carrying the gospel? Are you telling other people about what Jesus has done for you? Are you sharing the word of God with other people? You see, going forth and weeping, bearing precious seed is the thing that the martyrs have done for centuries. They've gone forth with the word of God. With their lives and their blood, they water the ground. With their tears, they salt the earth. And then they sow the seed in that same ground, and it bears sheaves. Not just one, but bundles. Bringing his sheaves with him, it says. So doubtless, there's no doubt about this happening. Sowing and reaping is a real fact. It's a real result. Something is happening in your life. You're sowing to something. You're going to reap from something. What is it? Is it to the Spirit and the joy that comes from that? Or is it to the flesh and the corruption that comes from that? Well, I hope you'll join me again next week. We'll look at Psalm 127 here on Daily Dose Radio. Thanks for listening to Daily Dose Radio. I'm David Smith. The music today has been performed by the Bluegrass Experiment. Thanks again for listening. I'll see you next time on Daily Dose Radio.